What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Reseller's Life. My name is Chris. Thank you so much for joining me. In this episode, I'm going to give you guys 9 of the best tips that I've accumulated in the last couple of weeks of doing some coaching. I've never really done coaching before, consulting in people's stores specifically to help them grow. But these are the best tips I've come up with this week. I wanted to share it with you guys. If you guys are interested in one-on-one help, definitely email me at chris@dailyrefinement.com. Okay, let's get straight into it. The first, number 1 and number 2 ways to improve are just getting started in a new niche that you're really interested in, and then also being afraid to make mistakes. When you just start out a niche, you're not going to know anything about it. You're not going to know anything specific about it. You're not going to know what things sell for, and that's okay. Okay, because you're looking for an unfair advantage, and that can take some time. What does an unfair advantage look like? It's usually a business supplier or a business customer. And what do I mean by that? I mean, for example, let's say you live close to a pet food liquidator and you can walk there. And then you also have an uncle that's a pet food store, right? That's really easy. That's really unfair. That means that you don't have to take any additional time or resources to walk next door to the liquidator and look at really good deals that other people may not have access to, and then call your uncle who comes and picks it up on the way to work. That's really unfair. You have a huge advantage over the other people selling the same thing, and for me, I'm looking for that. You should be looking for the same thing. You shouldn't play fair. You want a house advantage. That's going to help you have more longevity in the game. Otherwise, it's really just trading time for money, and that doesn't really scale. A lot of resellers are broke and they're not really making any money because they never scale. If they ever need a break or they take their foot off the gas, their business just tanks. You want to do stuff that has a little bit more longevity. And if you have business relationships set up or business customers, it makes it easier. Another reason why business customers are good is because they pay usually closer to retail and they need items right away. Consumers are the opposite. They don't need your item and they want the best deal possible, and they have more returns. So if you only deal with customers all day that are on the consumer side, you're definitely going to be frustrated because these are the people that have the highest fraud potential, the highest return potential, the highest likelihood of leaving you a negative feedback just because it was not the right shade of orange, right? That's going to happen with these types of customers, whereas businesses need the item right now. And I do want to give you another pro tip. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please smash the like button. But the pro tip is, guys, I'm not just focusing on businesses. I'm also focusing on services. If you look at the top 10 scalable businesses, none of them are products. They're all services like bookkeeping, lawn care, dentistry. There's stuff that's related to trading for services that people need right now. The service business is thriving, and as products become more commoditized and minimalism starts really taking hold and people start realizing they don't need all this garbage, everything is going to be transferred to services. Services are going to be around for a long time, and if you're really good at what you do, you can charge a lot of money. I wish that I knew that the average millionaire only makes $35 an hour. That's not that much money. Most people can do that over time and becoming an expert in one particular service. They can charge $35 or more. If you guys are wondering what the math is behind that, the average millionaire is like in their 50s. So they've been saving for 20 years or more, and they save 14 grand a year. That's totally actionable. Most people could figure out how to do that if they really focus on one niche. That brings me to the next tip, which is people not focusing on a niche. You need to pick one category. So I am now going to listen to my own advice and switch to only selling shoes. I'm going to get a lot of different opportunities because of my YouTube channel and where I live. I could sell pretty much anything, but that's okay. I'm just going to focus on selling shoes only. So the niche is going to allow me to find some unfair advantages locally and some different systems to get shoes to come to me. It's also going to make it a lot easier for me to ship. I think that the mental real estate it takes to sell in so many different categories is just too immense for people, and they end up getting burned out. And if you're reselling only one-off items to one-off consumer products, eventually you're going to burn out, need to take a break. And when you do that, your business is going to kind of tank, and it's going to be hard to get out of that rut, and you're going to be wishing you just kept the 9 to 5. So I want to keep all the self-employed people who watch my channel in the best mental state as possible. Since I have been diversifying into both services, products, and niching down, my mental health is way better. I'm a lot more focused now. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, definitely hit the like button because I'm way more relaxed now. I'm way more focused now. If you think I'm random now, you should have seen me when I first started. I was like, I'm gonna do 30 categories at the same time. I literally said that in probably the first 20 videos because when I first started reselling, I couldn't believe that toilet paper rolls were profitable. Everything seemed like a good idea. I remember walking into a thrift store and thinking, wow, there's like probably 200 items in here that are profitable. I just don't know which ones. So don't get sucked into that trap. Focus on a niche. Okay, the next tip is not focusing on the buyer and not even thinking about how the buyer shops. So this is going to be related to the next tip, which is trying to overanalyze Cassini. Cassini is the search ranking system on eBay. On Amazon, they have their own different system, but I can tell you for sure from talking to people who work there and from common sense, they're based on artificial intelligence. Okay, they are AI based and they're driven towards human behavior. Okay, so what does your buyer normally look for? They're going to type in, usually 90% of people type in the brand first of what they're looking for. That's why they recommend putting the brand as the first word in the title. That just makes sense, right? So you're going to want to type in your title how you think your buyer would look for it. And you need to understand that what it shows up on eBay, Amazon, is similar to what searches are on Google. So you can go online, look at the different websites, look at what populates as you're entering in keywords for your items, and really start to get an idea of what keywords are going to move which products and use that to your advantage. Don't worry so much about trying to make the algorithm happy. Focus more on what would a human type into the search bar, and that's going to help you find the right buyers. The next thing is focusing way too much on the wrong numbers. And this is the number I think is the wrong focus. It's the potential profit number. The potential profit number holds a lot of people back because they find something for $1 that has a sold for 20 and they just hold it forever and never sell it because they're looking to get closer to that 20. The number that I want you guys to think about is sell-through rate. How fast are your items selling? You can figure out how to make it profitable, I promise. You just need to figure out how to actually sell things. When your sell-through rate is really high, you have so many different options. You can pivot quickly, but if you just have a huge inventory of stuff that doesn't sell, you're gonna be in trouble, you're gonna be in a cash crunch. If you guys don't follow the smartest seller on Instagram, that's Scott. He works for a company called Buyboxer. If you look them up, you can see they're one of the top 50 Amazon companies, and you can look at the way they analyze things. Guys, it is very scary. All they're interested in is just selling the item. They can operate at literally 1% margins, or they can even lose money on some products. So remember, don't only be concerned about the profit number, because there's companies like Scott's that just, they don't care. As long as they get the sale, that's revenue, they can get a bigger loan and keep going. They're gonna destroy you they can always sell it cheaper than you. So just make sure that you understand selling items and getting that churn is gonna give you way more options. If you're treating this like a business, eventually you may wanna borrow money, and banks love lending money. As long as you have high revenue, they love it. Next one is worrying a little bit too much about keywords. So I'm gonna end the video on this last tip because I think it's one of the most important ones. The store that I'm gonna be reviewing upcoming is called Shop Material World. This is a 7-figure store. They sell only clothing. So it's not the best category because clothing only has a 5% sell-through rate. And you'll look at their titles and you'll be like, wow, they are really short. They're on eBay, which allows 80 characters, but they're only using 30 to 40. They're just using the main keywords and relying on sourcing really quality items, really quality brands, really quality categories. So they don't need to add in any fancy stuff like features or benefits to the title. All they're doing is sticking to the basics: color, brand, size, what subcategory and subcategory is it. That's it. Very, very clean, very, very detailed photos. That's it. Great titles, great descriptions. Their shipping policy also is something that I find very interesting, which is no free returns, no free shipping on a standard item. But if they want the item to move quicker, they actually will do free shipping or offer returns. So they're making the customer earn that. They're not just immediately giving it away. If you give away everything, free shipping, free returns, you have nothing to incentivize the customer to buy from you. So it depends on how good you are at your niche, where you would fully understand these little small price adjustments, how they would affect your business. So appreciate your guys' time. If you want, please support me by buying my reseller field guide. It's $35 in the description below. I'm giving out 99% free content, and the same information is available on my channel. It's just organized in a manner, and it really helps me offset the time it takes for me to write the content for these videos. So I appreciate you guys' time. Take care.